Hello everybody and welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing today? This afternoon, this evening, the night, whatever time it is. Today I want to talk about the Kato EMD SD70M or SD70 This is the flat radiator. Now, some of you who have been around Kato for a little while and know the current offerings for the SD70M that Kato offers, know that you can't get this paint scheme anymore. 713 is a paint scheme and model that was offered quite a few years ago. And I'll go over this here in a little bit because the internals and everything underneath the body is basically new Kato. Matter of fact, this is the second SD70M flat radiator 2586. This is the second one that I've had. The first one took a tumble. Some of the body pieces and whatnot were messed up. But mechanically, underneath the body, everything still functioned perfectly. So I ended up finding this guy off of, well, I ended up finding not only the shell, but the old locomotive too. And I'll even show you that this is older Kato because this is like white package Kato. And the one that I had gotten off of, oh, what was it? It was a train website, geez, aftermarket train website. It's like a third-party dealer or something like that. Excuse me, I forget. Anyway, I got it offline and I got it secondhand, and it was DCC originally. Well, with just a few modifications to the body itself, I was able to put this body on the newer Kato chassis, and this is DC, by the way. These ones now, and this one now is just DC. It's not DCC anymore. Even though I still have the old, like, mechanical, like, locomotive and everything. Nothing was wrong with it. Everything was good with that. I just don't have a DCC system. So, you know. But, so, for all intensive purposes, even though you cannot get this paint scheme anymore in the SD70 Mac or SD70M flat radiator, mechanically it is new. So that's what I want to talk about. These are really, really great locomotives. A lot like the ES44s and the AC4400s. I think that's what yeah, the AC4400. These are very quiet, very nice running locomotives. Pull really well, pull really strongly, and even though Kato is not really known for their details, if you will, they're more known for their mechanical reliability. I mean, it's a Kato, it's just going to run forever, basically. I mean, check this out. This is not bad. This is really, really good. I mean, you can see the panels and whatnot. There are separately applied details. None of which that I had to put on myself, though. I do want to stress that. The ES44 and the SD70M, for whatever reason, there was no separately applied details that I had to put on. But do know, though, if you're going to end up pulling this body off of the chassis, the railing and whatnot that goes around the actual body itself can separate from the main part of the body. And that's actually one problem I had with this model, is because whenever I went to take it apart, the main part of the body wanted to separate from the railing, basically. And it was a bugaboo trying to get it back together and not break anything. So if you're going to do body modifications like that and try to make, like, put an older body on a newer frame and chassis and whatnot, and the lights still do work, it still lights up and all that good stuff. But if you're going to do that, beware, because I almost broke the thing for real, but now it's like I'm really proud of it. The only thing that's missing, and I'm still waiting to get some of my stuff back from where I moved from. But you notice how this one's got a snow plow on the front of it. This one does not. And on the model that I had that broke, the snow plow is intact. So I'm basically just waiting to be able to get a hold of that, and I can put the snow plow that was on the old one onto this one, because it's going to be a black snow plow anyway. So it's just going to look really good, and it's just going to blend right in, and you're never going to be able to tell. But other than that, these are, I actually really strongly recommend these if you're into the SD70. The current offerings and color schemes that you can get for CSX, and I mainly model CSX and Norfolk Southern. I do have some Santa Fe stuff. Matter of fact, if you hear something running around in the background, it's actually one of my F units. I hadn't really ran my F units in a while, so and I want to do a video on them. I actually have the F unit freight packs that Kato did, where it was like the F unit and like a few little cars and whatnot. Well, about a year ago, over the span of like, well, it ain't been quite a year ago, but anyway, it's been within this past year. There was a span of like 2 or 3 months where I basically made it a goal that I was going to get these little F unit sets, because my first train set ever was HO scale, and it was a Bachmann locomotive, but it was an F unit, a little war bonnet. It was a war bonnet red F unit. That one running right there is the blue bonnet. I had this one running earlier today, but I didn't have the blue bonnet running, so I needed to let that one run too. And I also have the Union Pacific. So, and that one goes really, really cool with the excursion set. If, for whatever reason, you, say you, even if you have a little bitty layout that would only support realistically 2 to 3 cars out of that 9-car excursion set, right? Say you have like a little 2 foot by 4 foot layout, it's not going to support like the big boy or something like that, or even 844. But what would look cool is like 3 or 4 cars out of that excursion set with paired up with one of these little F units. And I actually pulled that whole 9-car excursion set with that little F unit, and it is just great. It looks really cool. I actually want to get a B unit and for it, but I don't know. I'm torn between finding a B unit to run with it, or getting eventually getting, because I know they make they made in the past, they made E units, and they made AB units for those E units, and you can get, you know, yada yada road number A, yada yada road number B, and I think that would be really, really cool to add some extra power for the excursion train, just to have some extra options for it. But anyway, back to SD70M. Talking about the excursion train, on Kato's website, you can actually get the SD70 mag. You can get 4015 or something like that, because the big boy is numbered 4014, right? So you can get the actual SD70 mag that they run in the excursion train that's numbered 4015. So that is really, really cool. I don't have an example of that. I wouldn't mind having one of those, just because I do have the excursion train. So it would actually make sense. And maybe I'll look into that in the future. But as of right now, I know there's a couple different road numbers that you can get for Norfolk Southern. Actually, they offer a couple different road numbers for all of them. And I think they do have a couple more, even for Union Pacific, they have a couple more road numbers outside of 4015. But you just have to get on the website and look, because I'm not sure exactly which ones you can get. I do know, though, that the locomotives are rock solid. They're really good. They run really, really good. And believe it or not, both of these, because you got to think, this one's mechanically the same as this. It's one of the newer ones. They actually run comparable in speed in any given throttle position in DC. So if I wanted to in the future, I could technically consist these two together, even though it's Norfolk Southern and CSX. Every now and then you'll see least power on those railroads. So you'll see I have before in the past, I've seen a CSX locomotive running at the head of a Norfolk Southern train, and vice versa. So, you know, it does happen. Crazy things happen every now and then. So there is least power. So maybe I could do something like that and run it into consist or something like that. Even though it's DC, it would actually still work really well. The ones that you can get for CSX in, like, right now, if I'm not mistaken, they're the boxcar logo. One of them I do want. It's called the Spirit of Tampa, and the only reason I really want that is because my best friend grew up in Tampa, and he told me that him and his buddy used to go out and they used to rob the Tropicana train. They used to run by back in the 90s. So, you know, now I did want to get the Spirit of Tampa just so I could say, look, man, I got the Spirit of Tampa. Look at this. It's cool. But they're going to be boxcar logos, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I actually don't. It's on the layout. I'm not really going to grab it off the layout right now, just to show you, because I'm going to end up doing the Jiva, the ES44 that I did a video on. I think it was yesterday or something like that. It's that paint scheme. It's the boxcar logo. It looks really, really good. But if you're thinking about getting the Kato SD70Ms in N scale, I can tell you from somebody who, and this is not, none of my videos are sponsored or anything like that. I actually bought and paid for it and own the product. And so I'm coming at you from a guy who's only been into this for a year or so and found something that, yeah, this stuff is good. So if you're thinking about getting it, it's really good. I can back it. It looks really, really good. You're able to see the more fine details in the CSX locomotives in low light and whatnot, but the Norfolk Southern ones do look good too. They look really, really good. So, but yeah, this was my little discussion video on the SD70M. I really like them. I think if you're thinking about getting one, you definitely should. I know a lot of you do have them running around on your layouts as it is right now. I've seen quite a few in videos, and they all look really, really good. I was really tickled to death to know to find this one and kind of Frankenstein it together. It's not really Frankenstein together all that much. I only had to like go in with a razor knife and cut off a couple of little fine details, more or less towards the bottom of the railing. And then after that, everything sat down right where it was supposed to. So it was like really, really cool. I really enjoyed it. And it's really nice. It doesn't, this one, they all got body mounted couplers. This one does not have the Kato couplers. It's got, I'm not sure what they are, but they're really, really good. They're really good. They hold on to everything, and shunting operations is not a problem, even if when it's going like to a Kato coupler. You can shunt forwards or backwards and then pull off with that train and whatnot, and it doesn't come undone. So it's really nice. I really like it. Not really sure what they are, but like I said, they're good. But yeah, if you have a Kato SD70M, tell me what you think about it. I really like mine. Mine are fairly new though, so I don't have any of the older tooling ones. So I don't really know how they are. And I wasn't able to run the older mechanism DCC model that this one originally came, the body originally came on. So I wasn't able to really test it and see if it was any good or not. I would assume it would be pretty decent. But I just, when I saw this, I was like, yep. And I knew I had that, the chassis and it, the working chassis and everything from the old one that I had broken. I was like, yep, it's going down. It is going down. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. I really like mine. If you're thinking about getting one, if you're on the fence, take it from somebody who, you know, doesn't have a huge layout and only been back into this for a year and was kind of unsure about it. I like them. I really do. They're really smooth runners. And you just have a nice little hum when they run. So, But y'all take it easy. I'm Model Mike.